Good afternoon, this is Darnell from Porsche of Ocala. I just wanted to take a minute to go do a walk around on the 2017 pre-owned Boxster. This is the new 718 body style. Porsche has made some great changes to this vehicle. This one is in the night blue metallic. They have wonderful new headlight design. Have some new wheel options. This one specifically has the 19-inch Boxster S wheels. On the side, the air intakes are now larger to help draw in air for the turbos, for the turbo, I should say. You have the blue roof with this particular model, which looks really nice with the night blue metallic. They've changed the back end, made it a lot more stylish. Normally the Boxsters have a single pipe for the exhaust. This one has a sport tailpipe, so you get the twin exhaust out the rear, which gives it a little bit more of a sporty look. They've made the backup camera as well as parking sensor standard now on the 718 Boxsters. They're giving it these new 3D design taillights, which are really nice. So the brake lights pop just a little bit, and then the signal strip stands out quite a bit as well. The spoiler on this vehicle, which is part of the active aerodynamics that Porsche calls it, will go up at 75 miles per hour and then go back down under 50. Now the Boxster is probably the most practical convertible in its class. And the reason for this is the two luggage compartments. So you get a little bit more space than you normally would with other convertibles this size. So here's the luggage compartment in the rear. You do have access to your oil and coolant, considering this is a mid-engine vehicle. And speaking of the engine, that was the hugest change that they made with the new 718 Boxsters. You have a 2-liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged Boxster engine that produces 300 horsepower on the standard model. With the performance that you're getting from this brand new engine, this base Boxster will now compete with the previous generation Boxster GTS, which is quite impressive. And this car is equipped with the Premium Package Plus, so you get the Porsche's entry and drive system, which allows you to put your hand inside the door handle to unlock it and then touch a notch to lock the vehicle. You also have this key that stays in the ignition, so that all you have to do is get inside the vehicle and you turn the key. As long as the key's within the vehicle, the car will start. If it's not inside the vehicle, it will do literally nothing. This car does have the 14-way seats, which come with the Premium Package Plus and the memory package. So you have 2 memory settings as well as a setting for your key. And as you can see, this has the full Luxor beige interior, which goes really well with the night blue metallic. They changed the steering wheel design in 2017. So it has the same design as the 918 Spider. You have your 3 instrument panels here. The one all the way to the right is your TFT display, which is probably the most important display in the vehicle, which I'll go back to in a second. The new PCM is touchscreen just like the previous one, but now, as you saw the menu popped up just now, you have a proximity sensor on the vehicle now, so once your hand gets close enough to the screen, the menu pops up so that you have all the options that you need to have access to right there in front of you. So it's very, very good technology. Also with the Premium Package Plus, you get the 2-zone climate control, so you can control the temperature on both sides. You have the heated and ventilated seats for the driver and passenger. Going down, you have your standard sport mode, your PSM, which is your Porsche Stability Management. There's a button here so that if you wanted to have the spoiler up all the time, you could have the spoiler up. You have your automatic start and stop function, so this will allow for the vehicle to shut down when you come to a complete stop, whether it be at a stoplight or stop sign. As long as the car comes to a complete stop, the engine will shut down to conserve fuel. And the technology is actually really, really good on these cars because you barely feel it shut off. And there's a lot of systems in play to help it work properly. So if you're sitting at a light for, let's say, a minute, the car will automatically cut back on, so that you're not running off of the battery for too long. Your vents will stay on, and it's to help with the efficiency of the vehicle. It works really well. Now, I know you had a question about the PDK or the transmission, if you see if it was automatic. So this operates like an automatic, so you can pull it down into drive, and it shows you here in the instrument cluster where you are, so you can go neutral, reverse, and drive. And just like I said, and park, I'm sorry, and just like I said, you have a backup camera as standard, and then parking sensors, so this digital display is actually really nice. When you turn the wheel, it shows you where you're going. The car moves from side to side to help you, and then there's sensors surrounding the vehicle, so you'll get a audible and visual alert as when you're getting too close to an object. Okay, so then you can also put it in park. Now, if you put it into drive, you have a manual mode. So in this, you can control the gears. Because Porsche is a very performance-oriented brand, this will hold the gear until you actually shift. So you have to be very conscious while driving it. It definitely adds a little bit of excitement to driving the vehicle. You do have paddle shifters that come as standard on the steering wheel. So if you want to, you can leave your hands on the wheel and control the gears. But you could always just leave it in drive, and the car will do everything it has to. Once you switch into the sport mode, it's actually going to change when the car is going to shift, as well as improves the throttle response. So if you were, doing some more sporty driving, let's say tracking a car, for instance, if you put it into the sport mode, this will make sure that the car is at the optimal gear and RPM, so that you can get out of cornering very easily, so the acceleration is always maximized. Now, the whole idea behind the PDK is it's a double clutch transmission. So traditionally manuals are better for performance as well as efficiency. So with this you get the best of both worlds. You have two clutches. One will be designed for reverse, second, fourth, and sixth gear, and the other would be designated for first, third, fifth, and seventh. So the whole idea is once let's say you're in first gear, second gear is already preloaded, so it shifts in a split second. That way you're getting the best times all the time. This will shift faster than humanly possible, and with that being said, it's actually a very smooth shifting transmission. They've done exceptionally well with this. And it's hard to describe. It's something you definitely have to experience. So going back to the TFT, I'll just go through it really quick. You have your regular vehicle menu, and it shows a list of things here. You have your boost pressure, oil temperature, oil pressure, and coolant temperature. And you can always customize that to show different things. As you go down the list, you have your audio, so you can see different radio stations. You go down again, you have your map, and you can change this just like you can change your other maps, so you can have a 3D view if you wanted. You have your navigation, which is going to show your last destinations normally, but once you actually have the navigation working and taking you to a destination, this will show you your turn-by-turn directions. You have your trip computer, your tire pressure, and then back around to the vehicle menu, which is very important because you have info here, so any messages or alerts that come up in the car will come up here, as well as checking when your service is due. You can measure your oil from here. There's no dipstick in the car. Obviously with the mid-engine design, it would be difficult just for the placement of it. It would be a little inconvenient. So then you have your limits, so you can set a speed so the car will alert you, and then you have your settings. So the wonderful thing about this is that you have your settings literally right in front of you. So there's no reason, this will be most of the stuff that you need access to. Obviously there's a couple things on the PCM that you can access that you can't access from here, but this will have access to everything that's important: date, time, light and visibility, locking, display settings. So it's definitely a nice job that they've done with that. Okay, let's just take one more look at the Boxster. Okay, Jim, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.